Today on Max Handy Gadgets, we're making a delicious shrimp and roasted pork fried rice. So let's get started. Alright, for the main ingredients to make our delicious shrimp and roasted pork fried rice, we have a picnic roast here that we roasted the other day. We sous vide it and then we went ahead and air fried it. And boy, does that taste good because we made a honey glaze for that. And I'll put a link in the description for that because that really turned out nice. And over here we have 20 raw shrimp, right? They're pretty large. And up here we have a cup and a half of frozen peas and carrots, right? And back here we have 2 large eggs that we're going to use, yep. And 1 really large onion. We're probably only going to use maybe a quarter of that, or possibly a half, but this is a big one. So it's softball size, right guys? All right, let's put some of this aside. All right guys, like I said before, this is a picnic roast that we went ahead and sous vide and air fried it the other day, and boy is this good. It has honey glaze on there and all those good seasonings. I'll put a link in the description for that because it really does taste good when you make it that way. And today we're going to use this to make a delicious shrimp and roasted pork fried rice for dinner. Doesn't that sound good? All right, let's get started. We'll slice this up and we'll cube it up, and if there's any real big pieces of fat, we'll go ahead and take them out. Okay, let's use our knife. Now we did go ahead and sharpen this with our AnySharp knife sharpener again. It really works handy in a pinch, guys. So if you don't have one, go ahead and pick one up. All right, let me see how sharp it is. We'll cube it, right? So we'll just cut through there, just like this. Okay. Now we might not use all this, but we'll see. Maybe we will, but we'll go ahead and cut out any of the real big pieces of fat that's in there, right? Okay, there you go. Okay, let's move these over to the side here, and we'll take this beautiful crust that we made out of the honey glaze and the air frying method that we used. Boy, was that tasty. All right, I'm gonna have a bite of this. Okay. Is that crust good? We're gonna leave that on. All right, I see a really big piece of fat right here, so we're gonna cut that off today. Okay, see? Not that it wouldn't taste good, but we're gonna throw that away. All right, let's cube this up. Make it like 3/8 of an inch thick. Cubes. And you can leave them kind of big if you want, but we're gonna cut them in half again. Okay, let's go ahead and put them in a bowl. Boy guys, this is going to make it taste really good with that pork fried rice, right? Okay, let's put that aside again, and let's check these out and see if we can cut these all up at one time. They look really good, guys. Look how pink that was. Can you see it? Boy, that was a tasty picnic roast we made there. And we deboned it, like I said, so we can slice it up just like this. Makes really wonderful sandwiches. All right, let's cut this like this in little chunks. Boy, that knife's sharp, guys. Okay, let's turn that sideways and we'll cube them up. Now we're serving 4 guests tonight, so we're going to try to make a pretty good size batch of delicious shrimp and roasted pork fried rice, right? So there you go. All right, let me put that in a bowl. Okay, let me put that aside again. And let's cut these up, these little pieces. Might as well use it up. Look how tender that is, guys. You see it? Beautiful. Really tender. Make a delicious sandwich out of that. When you can slice it, right? Everybody enjoyed this when we made it the other day. And they really, really enjoyed it, I'm telling you. That looks like a little bit of a fatty piece there, right? All right, let's throw this away. Okay, that's about perfect right there. All right. All right, let's put them in a bowl. Okay, guys, there's our roasted pork all cut up nicely into cubes, right? It really smells good because we put a little liquid smoke and everything in there when we did it. All right, let's put these aside for now. And let me clean my cutting board. All right, let's slice up our onion. Look at the size of that onion. Okay, let's just go ahead and cut off the end. All right, let's see if we can peel this. Wow, guys, that's a big onion. All right, guys, let's cut that in half. We might use half, so we'll cut it in half. And we'll put this aside. Okay, let's slice that up. Now we're going to leave these kind of big, you know, just about like this. All right, that's good. And we'll put our onions on a plate. Okay, there's our onions all chopped up nice. All right, let's put these aside. All right, let's put our cutting board away. We don't need that anymore. All right, and for the shrimp, we're gonna make a nice, quick marinade for these. And they are a nice size, they're large shrimp, and they've been peeled and deveined. Now they're raw shrimp or frozen shrimp. And you go ahead and make a nice marinade and it'll taste really good. So that's what we're gonna do. And to our shrimp, we're gonna add half a teaspoon of salt, a quarter teaspoon of white or black pepper, and a half a teaspoon of smoked paprika. Yep, put that in there. 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. 1 tablespoon of water, yep. And 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, put that in. All right, now just take your hands and mix them up. Now this is gonna make them taste really good. And that cornstarch is gonna help lock that moisture in a little bit. Now you can use any kind of seasonings you want on your shrimp. Just salt and pepper would be good. But we like to marinate them a little bit and make them taste even better. Okay, they're looking good. Let's go ahead and put our nice shrimp aside. Alright, now we're going to make a delicious soy sauce mixture. Alright, to start off with, we have a 1/4 cup of chicken broth. And to that, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. This is a low sodium soy sauce, put that in there. A 1/2 teaspoon of minced garlic, put that in. And a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, a 1/2 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, and a pinch of cayenne pepper. Yep, that ought to kick it up a notch. Alright, let's put that in there. 1 teaspoon of white vinegar, put that in. And 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce, put that in. Alright, let's mix that up. This is really going to make it taste good, guys. But you can add whatever seasonings you like in this. You don't have to add the red pepper flakes or the cayenne pepper if you don't want it a little bit mildly spicy. But it adds a lot of flavor to it. Okay. Alright, let's put that aside. Alright, and let's bring in our eggs. And we'll lightly season them. Put a little salt to taste. A little bit of pepper. And some garlic powder. And we'll go ahead and beat that up, guys. Alright. Now you can add whatever seasonings you like in here, but we're just going to add a little bit of salt, pepper, and garlic powder. Okay, that looks good. Nice. Alright guys, there's our egg mixture all nicely beat up, right? Now all we have to do is start making our delicious shrimp and roasted pork fried rice. So let's get started doing that. Alright, and today we're using our large cast iron skillet. And we're going to set our burner to medium. And we're going to let our pan get hot, then we're going to add some oil. Alright, our pan's hot enough. Now we're going to go ahead and add some peanut oil to the pan. Put a little bit in there. And we're going to go ahead and take our marinated shrimp. Look at them. Don't they look nice? And we're going to put them right in there. Now spread these out a little bit so they can cook on one side there, and flip them over. Okay, let's see how we're doing. Flip them over and get both sides. Alright, when you get them looking like that, they're done. So let's get them out of there. Put them right in a bowl. Okay guys, there's our shrimp. All nicely fried up. Boy, do they smell good with those seasonings. Oh yeah. Alright, let's put this aside. Now if you need to, put a little more oil in the pan. And leave all those flavor bits in there because it's going to make it taste really good. Now we're going to take all our onions and put them in. Stir them in a little bit here and fry them up good. Now we're going to put all our frozen peas and carrots in there. Put them in. Give them a quick stir. Boy, does that smell good already with that shrimp seasoning that's in there. Really nice. Okay, let's put a teaspoon of minced garlic in there. And a teaspoon of rice wine, put that in. Now, if you don't want to add the rice wine, don't do it, but it really adds a lot of flavor. And let that wine cook off a little bit. Okay, that looks to be done. So let's go ahead and shut off our burner for a minute. And let's get them out of there. Okay, there's our peas and carrots and onions. Let's put these aside for now. Now we're going to put a little more oil in the pan. Make sure your burner's set to medium. And we're going to take all our nice roasted pork and we're going to put them in there. Now we're going to add just a little bit of salt to taste, pepper to taste, and some garlic powder to taste, a little bit of onion powder to taste, and some smoked paprika. That adds that smoky flavor. And give them a nice stir, and we're looking to warm them up a little bit and give them a little bit of flavor. Extra flavor, that is, because they're already tasty. Yes, they are. Now we don't have to cook these. We're just trying to warm them up and get them to release a little more flavor into the pan here too. So they should taste really good just the way they are. Okay, when you get them looking like that, they're done. Let's shut off our burner and let's get them out of there. Look at that, guys. There's our roasted pork. And boy, does that smell good. And it looks wonderful. All right, let's put these aside for now. All right, now we're going to set our burner to medium. And we're going to put a little more oil in the pan. And we're going to take our pre-cooked rice. And it's about a day old. And it's nice and dry. And that's what you want. Just leave it in the refrigerator and let it dry out some. And it turns out really nice that way. All right, let's go ahead and put that in there. Now we're looking to cook these and stir fry them a little bit here and get them a little tiny bit crispy, right? We don't want any moisture in them, so just keep stirring them around and fry them up till you start seeing them jumping a little bit, then you know you're about done. Okay, they're looking really good. Now we're going to take our soy sauce mixture, and don't forget to mix it up because it has that cornstarch in there. Okay, and we're going to pour that right in there. and mix that in. Now we're going to lower our burner temperature to medium-low. Get that all the same color. Boy, does this smell good, guys. Okay, when you get it looking like this, move everything over to one side. All right, that looks good. Now we're going to put a little more oil on the pan on this side. And we're going to take our egg mixture, right? And now we're going to beat that up again. All right, and we're going to pour that right in there. Just like that. Now what we're looking to do is kind of scramble these up a little bit, but make them into like ribbons, you know. All right, when you get them looking like this, go ahead and mix in your rice. Boy, does that smell good, guys. You're gonna love this. Okay, now we're gonna take all our nice pork and we're gonna put that back in there. Wow. And all our peas, carrots, and onions, put them in. Give that a nice little mix because that's a lot to eat right there. Remember, we have 4 guests coming over, so this should be perfect. Where'd that onion go? Did you see him? He jumped right out of there. It's like a flying onion. Or a jumping onion. Yep, sure was. All right, that is about done right there, but we're missing one thing, right? Our shrimp. Yep, let's put them back in. Let's give that a light mix and kind of leave the shrimp on top because it looks pretty. But you can mix them in if you want. Look at those shrimp, guys. I mean, they're done perfectly. Let me see if I can show you one. There it is. Beautiful. Okay. And they're kind of big. Alright guys, now that's really a nice dinner right there. And the flavor is going to be amazing. But let's go ahead and sprinkle a little parsley flakes on top just to make it look nice. Alright. Alright guys, our delicious shrimp and roasted pork fried rice is done. Let's shut off our burner. And I can't wait to have a taste of that, so let's get into a bite. Alright guys, here it is. Our delicious shrimp and roasted pork fried rice. Now, doesn't that look good? It smells wonderful. I wish you were here in the kitchen, guys, because that roasted pork with all that shrimp and those vegetables, boy, is this going to be tasty. And our guests are going to love it tonight, so that's going to be good. And this is way better than takeout, guys. I can guarantee you that. All right, let me get into a bite and we'll test it and see how it tastes. Get a little bit of our rice, maybe an onion, and a nice shrimp. Look at that, guys. Can you see that? Boy, is this going to be tasty. All right, let me go ahead and have a bite because I can't wait any longer, guys. All right, let me have a bite. Wow, guys, you're going to love this. This is just really, really tasty. And it's mildly spicy and not too hot. And you're going to love it. That's all I got to say. This is really good. Your guests are going to love it too. All right, let me put this aside for a minute and we'll plate up a nice serving. All right, guys, look at that. Doesn't that plate look nice? Now that's one serving, and let me tell you, that is a beautiful serving right there. And there's 3 more servings like that, so you can't beat that, guys. All right, you know what'll go good with this since we're having this for a nice dinner? Yep, you probably guessed this one, guys. We're gonna have a nice cold wobble pop with this one. Now, doesn't that sound good? It sure does. Alright guys, if you're enjoying these videos, go ahead and like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Delicious shrimp and roasted pork fried rice. That's what's for dinner tonight. And that really does sound good and tastes wonderful. Yep, I just gotta have another little bite. Look at that, guys, look at that shrimp. Boy, is this tasty. And that pork. Oh yeah. Wow, is that tasty, guys. You're really going to enjoy this. Alright, I hear a door knock. Our guests have arrived. Now that is timing right there. I'll just serve them up and we're good to go. Alright, catch you on the next one, guys. Look at that serving, guys. Wow. Boy, does that look good.